Have you ever noticed that when you're standing in a watch store, most models from different brands, from Rolex and Omega to Tag Heuer, all show the same time that we all know as 10 past 10? Even if you Google the word wristwatch or just watch, you'll see that probably all the watches are showing the same time. But why? Do you think it's just a simple coincidence, or is there a hidden message behind it? Or a scientific truth that we haven't paid attention to until now? Before I start the video, I want to ask you to click somewhere, specifically on the like button, and also write your opinion in the comment section, and turn on the channel notifications because that's the only way to support the efforts of the World Stories team. Now let's get to this strange mystery. People propose various crazy theories about the 10 and 10 legend. Some claim that this 10 and 10 means October 10th is recognized as World Clock Day. Of course, this is neither official nor registered anywhere. Some also bring up the theory of the clock's inventor and say that the first person who invented the clock died at 10 and 10 minutes, which is why the hands are set in this position to pay tribute to him. Another group has the opposite view and says the inventor of the clock was born at this time. And you might not believe it, but there's a third group that claims the moment time was discovered was at 10 and 10 minutes. But the problem is that the clock was a gradual invention, and we cannot identify any specific individual as the inventor of the clock or the modern wristwatch. Although Christian Huygens, the Dutch mathematician and scientist of the 17th century, invented the first pendulum clock, clocks and clockmaking are the result of a collective series of inventions and developments over centuries. Additionally, there is no definitive evidence about when Huygens invented that pendulum clock. But another theory brings up the assassination of U.S. presidents and suggests that Abraham Lincoln or John F. Kennedy, two U.S. presidents who were both assassinated before their natural lifespan left the world, hence the timing of their deaths, should be given more importance, or the point is that none of these presidents died at 10 past 10. Instead, Lincoln was shot at 10 at night and died at 7:22 in the morning, and Kennedy was shot at 12:30 in the afternoon, and it was announced that he had died at 1 p.m. On the other hand, some people believe that 10 past 10 is the time when the atomic bombs were dropped on Japan, and they associate setting the clock to 10 past 10 with the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. But the reality is that these bombs were dropped at 8 in the morning and 2 minutes past 11 in the morning on the 6th and 9th of August 1945 on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Some people also attribute the time of 10 past 10 and the appearance it has to the Allies' victory in World War II, which led to the letter V in English being chosen as a symbol of victory. But none of these theories are the main reason for setting the clocks to 10 past 10. The truth is simpler than you think. In fact, the main reason for setting the clock to 10 past 10 is aesthetics and... Well, let's examine this topic more closely together. Watchmaking companies realize that setting the clock to 10 past 10 makes the watch face appear symmetrical and beautiful. For example, when the clock is set to 10 past 10, the sunburst effect has a greater visual impact. Because this effect usually radiates from the center of the watch face and is more visible in the lower half. This way, the watch looks beautiful, and the logo, which is located at the top, is not obscured. Additionally, when the hands are positioned in a V shape, or more precisely in the shape of an English V, it evokes a positive, friendly, optimistic, and victorious feeling. On the other hand, when the clock hands are positioned in a way that they are apart from each other, the clock face and the hands themselves become more visible. This ensures that the brand logo, which is usually located below the number 12, is not obscured and even stands out more. It's as if the hands highlight the logo in a V shape, drawing more attention to the brand. Additionally, setting the time to 10 past 10 does not cover other features of the watch face, such as the date display, moon phase like the crescent or full moon, or the power reserve indicator, which are often located in the lower half of the watch face. However, some brands like Timex used to set their watches to 8:20, but later changed their approach and adopted the 10 past 10 setting. It's true that 8:20 also creates the same symmetry, but subconsciously, it influences the customer's mind and makes them less inclined to purchase. This topic has also been thoroughly examined in a psychological study. In fact, according to research published in the journal Frontiers in Psychology, a group of men and women was shown an experiment with pictures of 20 different watch models with 3 different settings: 10 past 10, 20 past 8, and half past 11. The results of this study were astonishing. The watches set to 11:30 or 8:20 had no positive effect on the individuals, but 10:10 was the only time when people perceived it as resembling a smiling face. Not only did it improve their mood, but it also increased the likelihood of purchasing the watch. Interestingly, this feeling was much stronger in women than in men. But why? Because previous research has also shown that women are better than men at recognizing and understanding facial expressions. Therefore, when the 2 hands are pointing upwards and the watch is set to 10:10, a positive subconscious feeling is conveyed to the person, as if the watch is smiling at you and saying, "Come, buy me." But when the watch is set to 8:20 and the hands are pointing downwards, a feeling of discomfort and depression is conveyed, as if the watch is frowning. And well, no one really likes a frowning watch. However, I personally prefer the hands set to 8:20 because maybe we've gotten too used to 10:10 and seeing it has become repetitive. But what do you think? Which setting do you prefer? Be sure to write it in the comments. But before this video ends, it's better to also look at some strange exceptions. In fact, in a world governed by specific rules, there are always exceptions. First, let's look at the Rolex brand, which usually sets its watches to 10:09:36 or 10:10:31 with a slight adjustment. This small change, based on a marketing strategy, makes the Rolex brand appear unique and distinctive, while still maintaining that balanced, symmetrical, and appealing look. However, the Parmigiani brand sets its watches to 7:08, which is the birth time of Michel Parmigiani, the company's founder. The Oris brand also sets its watches to 7:53 or even 6:53, which is a different move in the watchmaking industry. Ultimately, some digital brands like Casio do not adhere to this rule at all and usually display a random time. The secret of 10 past 10 is just that simple. An advertising decision that enhances the visual appeal of the watch. But this is a great example of how small things we see every day can have interesting stories behind them. Now, when you look at a watch set to 10 past 10 in a store window, you know the reason because it was explained to you on the World Stories channel. If you've been with us up to this point in the video, be sure to hit the like button and let us know if you prefer 8:20, 10:10, or even 11:30. I'm looking forward to your comments.